Speaker.
Honourable Dr. Peter Sharples.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. Tēnā koutou, Ngati tō Rangatira, ko hara mai nei tēnei rā a tāhua, ki te whakanui, ki te kaupapa, e haere nei. A Matiu, taku wā, taku Rangatira. Nui rawa ngā mihi ki a koe, ko tae nei ki tēnei rang. Nā reira nau mai, hara mai ki tēnei whare, kia whakawati ai, tēnei mahi, tēnei pire, kia tū Rangatira ai, tō tātou haka, a ka mate, ana kia whakawati ai ngā kōrero mo te kreme hoki a ki teiwi. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou ia koutou tini mate, e tiraha tonu i ngā marae maha, rātou ko tukuna tu hoki ki te kōpua te whaia, tēnā koutou haere rātou. Mr. Speaker, today we welcome the sons and daughters of Hoturoa, captain of the great Tainui Kanu. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Nearly 2 centuries ago, the people of Ngati tō Rangatira resided at Kawhia on Waikato Tainui's western coast, from Aotea to Hui Kōmako. Ko Tainui te waka, Hoturoa te tangata, ko Ngati tō Rangatira te iwi. Their incredible heke, or great migration south, is stuff that legends are made of. Mr. Speaker, in the early 1800s, they faced conquest in their northern lands. The people of Ngati tō Rangatira turned south. Led by the renowned chief Te Rauparaha, Ngati tō Rangatira and their allies embraced technology armed with muskets. They waged wars with tribes across the southern North Island and the northern South Island. Ngati tō Rangatira heke included their women, children and kaumātua. They too walked hundreds of kilometres. Many would die along the way from Kawhia to their new homelands in Kapiti. Mr. Speaker, by the time the Treaty of Waitangi was signed, Ngati tō Rangatira was exercising tino rangatiratanga as mana whenua over the lands they occupied in the southwest coast of Wellington, at Ohariu, Porirua, Kapiti Island, and across parts of the Horowhenua coast. In Te Tauiho te waka a Maui, their main areas of occupation were the Wairau, Port Underwood, and the Pelorus Sounds. Mr. Speaker, by the time the Titi o Waitangi was signed, the global whaling industry was burgeoning, with whaling stations established across Ngati tō Whenua. The flax trade was also booming. Ngati tō Rangatira weren't just part of an emerging economy in this part of the country. They were actually leading this economy, and they were the owners of it. But the Treaty of Waitangi signed by Te Rauparaha changed the ground rules forever. The Crown's military action, land confiscations, land purchases were pervasive and unrelenting. Ngati tō Rangatira economic power ruined. Ngati tō Rangatira political power devastated. Ngati tō Rangatira people left virtually landless, without reserves or endowments. Mr. Speaker, all those things the Crown has taken from the people of Ngati tō Rangatira, they can never be replaced. And yet, Mr. Speaker, they honour the Crown today with their generosity and their willingness to settle their historical grievances. Okay, most people have heard of the famous whakataua ki hata me nui o te ao, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. What is the greatest thing of all? It is people. It is people. It is people. New Zealanders often ponder about what things best define us in this country. Our mountains, our artists, our rugby. But without someone to climb the mountain, without someone to write the book, without an incredible captain to lead that team, without people, we have nothing to define us. Mr. Speaker, the greatest thing of all about New Zealand, it is our people. It is our people. It is our people. Fearless, ingenious, and straight up. These are some of the words that help explain our number 8 wire mentality. So it's not surprising that before anyone else, Our ancestors went where no man or woman had gone before, conquering 1/3 of the surface of this planet as we migrated south from island to island, and writing the final chapter of human exploration and settlement. It's not surprising that the guy who decided to knock the bugger off and climb the tallest mountain on earth was from Tuakau. It's not surprising that the most successful sports team on the planet wear black jerseys. And Mr. Speaker, when it comes to a unique defining cultural symbol that sets New Zealand out from the rest of the world, it's not surprising that the rest of the world thinks of one word, Haka. And it's not surprising that the Haka New Zealanders know and is known for, above all others, is a Haka like no other. A triumphant, defiant celebration of life over death. Ka mate, ka mate, ka ora, ka ora. Ka mate, ka mate, ka ora, ka ora. Composed by the warrior chieftain Te Rauparaha, as he cheated death, years later the words of Te Rauparaha resound through the generations. His words have come to define the human spirit, fearless, ingenious, straight up. The Haka ka mate is our most powerful icon and symbol for New Zealand's most favourite pastime, our most favourite pastime of punching above our own weight. Nearly 200 years later, the words of Te Rauparaha resound through the generations. Mr. Speaker, from this day on, the Crown acknowledges and recognises the significance of ka mate as a taonga, as an integral part of the history, culture and identity of Ngati toa Rangatira. I am proud to be part of a government that honours, respects and recognises the whakapapa of ka mate. Nā tēnei mahi ka whakamanahia te tahi taonga Māori. Whakamanahia te hitore o tātou ngai Māori. He mea tuatahi tēnei ki o ku whakaaro. Nā te mea, ka haere a tātou tamariki ki te kura, kāre he hitore Māori kei roti ngā kura. Ka hare rātou e whakaako i ene hitore i mua te tānga mai o te whāhea. Nā reira, nā tēnei haka e whakaarahi te huarahi. Nā reira, kei te mihi atu ki a koutou mō tēnei taonga Ngati toa Rangatira. So what pleases me is not only just the haka, its significance and the place and the role that it is playing in terms of putting our history back where it should be and inviting something that we've just started to embark on, is putting our history into schools so that children can learn who we are, what is mana whenua, and the long history that goes back to the settling of the Pacific Ocean islands in the ocean right till this day. But as far as the haka, what pleases me is the impetus in this bill for those who perform ka mate to do it properly. In the immortal words of the great All Black captain Buck Shelford, who helped resurrect the correct performance of ka mate, and I quote, "Do the fucking right or don't do it at all." Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to be part of a government that today stands alongside the whānau o Ngati toa Rangatira. Today we resolve historical grievances with honour, with mana, and with the generosity of the sons and daughters of Hoturoa. From the House of Toa Rangatira to the New Zealand House of Representatives, it is a great day. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
Reno Turakatni.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. Ngati